Hey everybody here, hi, I'm Dave Tomorrow, otherwise known, some people at DLA and everything have nicknamed me Citizen Dave. What I'm going to do is real quick show you how the DoD is just throwing away $2.5 trillion over the next 20 years. Alright, that's a lot of money, but believe me, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me whatsoever. If you're a member of Congress or anything, I really want to fly up there and give you this presentation personally with my 250 pages of supporting documents. I've got stuff from the DoD, State Department, Department of Commerce, all GSA, states, everybody backing me up on this. To include the US DoD IGs backing me up, and the certain members of Congress has actually chimed in and backed me up. Nobody's disputing this, by the way. Nobody is disputing this. Okay, so let's hit this hard and heavy on how your money is getting thrown away. $2.5 trillion. And to put that into perspective, we could run the DoD completely off of it for 4 years. Or all the hurricanes, all the disasters, the fires out in California, the hurricanes and everything for the next 2 years would be completely covered if they just do what they're supposed to do. This is out of DoD regs. It's not me making stuff up. So let's go ahead and hit it. Okay. DoD has about 300,000 military vehicles that they're getting rid of in the next 20 to 25 years, okay? If each one of them only has an impact of $10,000 per vehicle, that's over $3 trillion, okay? Now, where do I get that? I get that from the fact that to move and displace the vehicle and crush the vehicle and everything, the DoD is losing $5,000 per vehicle on average, okay? So they wouldn't have to do that. They just hand it off to the third-party contractor. Second, these vehicles are getting $20,000, $30,000 a piece, all right? And the argument's been, well, what if the market gets flooded and everything? So I dropped the price down to $5,000 per vehicle. Even if it's cut slightly to demill it, if the chassis is complete, people will buy them. All right, that's $3 trillion over 20 years, and that's, believe me, on the low side. All right, we're not talking about weapon systems. We're not talking about armored vehicles, tanks, or anything like that. What we're talking about is 140,000 Humvees, Hemmets, LMTVs, 2.5 tons, 5 tons, MTRs. They're trucks, civilian trucks. The DoD has Humvees, all sorts of stuff that with no armor on them, or very little armor, they can be taken off relatively easily. And the third-party contractor has hired people to do it. It's not like it's not been done. The Marines do it all the time. They sell them, but all you got to do is unbolt them. They're not even welded on. Okay, so all these vehicles, over 296,000 of them. All right, this is off the internet right now. Iron Planet sold at $31,000 for a barely running Hemmet. There's thousands of them that the Army's cutting up right now. Humvees. That Humvee sold for $50,000. 40,000 of it was returned to DoD. There's that at Hurlong or Sierra Army Depot right now. There's 200 of these going to get cut up in 2 weeks. Look it up. Go to Government Liquidators. They're selling 2 billion or 2 million pounds of scrap, which are vehicles, fully running vehicles in great shape. Okay. If the GSA donates them, which was what I'm hoping happens, if they go to a fire department and everything, they only spend $25,000 for a first-class brush truck. All right? If they buy a brush truck, they're at $70,000. So it's a local economy saves $50,000 per truck that's donated. Last year, the state of Texas alone got 290 military vehicles. All right? For over $40 million worth of vehicles. And that's on the low side. It's actually $290 million because each truck is about $100,000 if you add them all in. And they saved the state and everybody. Okay? Right through the GSA. Alright? Alright, this truck. This truck is at Fort Bragg a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago. 2,000 miles on it. Got crushed. Because it was scary looking, I was told. Okay, that's what it ends up being right there. If you look in the background, all sorts of other Humvees. All right, DMIL code. Half the trucks for a few months ago were DMIL A. they've gone to D-mill Q, and most of them are down D-mill C. They're at D-mill C only as a precaution, because I've got the head D-mill guy on the phone. If you look at episode 8, season 2, he says that they're supposed to be D-mill Q, and he's moving everything to D-mill C by the end of the year. By the end of the year, right before he retires, he's moving everything to D-mill C, so no more vehicles get donated. That's 290 of them just in the state of Texas last year. Nationwide, there were thousands. Every truck to get donated has to look like this before it goes out. As of January 1st, that's what I've been told. All right, in the past 24 months, all ground vehicles have gone from A to Q, and most of them have gone from Q to C, right? There's no written policy on this. This is just one guy says they look scary. I can't make this stuff up. I've got the documentation. I've had the DOD Undersecretary of Defense, Ms. D. Reardon, tell me it wasn't true. I've got him on camera saying it is. So there's a bit of integrity issues going on here. But at D-mill code Q, you have to spend more time buying a pistol, 5 minutes on a background check. On a military vehicle, it takes up to 6 months if it's getting sold. Okay, so that means you're hurting yourself, DOD, because people aren't spending that much money on them. All right. Each time a vehicle goes from D-mill A to Q, or even to C, you add about $5,000 worth of transfer paperwork and everything like that. So that's costing the DOD tons of cash. So what do? They just crush the vehicles anyway. They lose $30,000, $40,000 per vehicle doing that every time they do it. All right? Okay, they're getting $148 per vehicle. That's all they're getting for when they go to scrap. But, you know, they could get $55,000. What they're doing is they're losing money on each vehicle they're crushing. Again, Jeff Garrett, D-mill program manager, all vehicles will be D-mill C by the beginning of 2018. Now, interesting thing about him, he decided that as soon as the investigation started, he's going to retire because he doesn't want any more investigations with his name on it. So January 1st, he's retired. He's out of there. He told me he's got five more years left. The investigation started, he's out of there. Sounds like Lois Lerner from the IRS to me. All right. He's saying that here that they can't sell them because D-mill coding process. He's the D-mill manager. He's the one that puts it on there. As long as they're not ERA 0600 vehicles, he can't do anything about it. Gee, guess what? 4 years ago, they went ECCN 0600. Okay? He's lying. Check it out. Somebody from the DOD, from the State Department, from Congress, pick up the phone, call over there to the Department of Commerce, see what the ECCN number is. It's right there. I've got all the documentation. You got a guy at DOD that's lying. They're working hard to identify the models, but they won't accept any of my documentation. They're saying, well, we don't know where this documentation came from, and they won't call the Commerce Secretary or the Department of Commerce. That's how they're saying that they can't sell them. All right. Here's Steven Stoddard, Senior Export Compliance Specialist. He writes the rules on this. He assures me that that's BS, okay? Just got to make sure there's no radios in there or weapon systems. No radios or weapons are getting in a vehicle that's getting donated. Come on, give me a break. All right. Here's TACOM, DLA Distribution Services Chief. Mr. Garrett is the problem. He sent that in an email. Okay. Cynthia Gardner over at GSA. She's saying that he's breaking the law. Okay. DOD civilian over at Crane. If it looks intimidating, scrap it. Doesn't matter what D-mill code is. Okay? That's money down. Bulldozers. Bulldozers look intimidating, so they're scrapping them. Okay. Then they came back and they said, well, they're armored, so they can't be released. Here's the armored tech requirements right here. Right there. to be level 3 armor, it has to have a high-powered rifle, 7.62 millimeter or above. Real quick, 5 shots fired, 5 bounces off. No armor penetration allowed for it to be an armored vehicle. That's 308, 7.62. There's a picture. This is a piece of armor that I've got. 5.56, 7.62 Russian, and 7.62 NATO. All go right through it. No bounce there. So not armored. So again, a lie. Here's the fiberglass doors they're saying is bulletproof. Right through. AK-47, 7.62 NATO, M16, 9 millimeters going through it. But yet they want to make sure that they get crushed because they're dangerous. And every time they do this, remember, this is money that is supposed to be recouped because they sell them, and the civilian market out there there's high demand for them. All right, here's how it goes. You got like Gary Owen over here that has a vehicle, they turn it in. It goes up to division, first cab. They inspect it. Both of them inspect it jointly. All the stuff gets removed, guns, everything. If it's not bolted down, it comes out. Then it goes up to the Army. The Army accepts it for turn-in. They accept for compliance. Then TACOM gets it. They do it in compliance. Then it goes up to GSA. Well, DOD DMIL, Jeff Garrett, wants another check right here. There's no check. It's not written. It's not prescribed. It's not demanded. There's no manual that says that there's another check that's supposed to be committed. But he wants one, so he's putting everything at DMIL Code C until that check is done. Nobody can do the check because there's no procedures to do it. All right? For GSA to get it, and then the state of Texas. All right? And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 checks to make sure nothing illegal gets out. All right. 2014-15 IG report. 8,872 items overcoded. It's not me, that's the IG. All right. This is from the DLA Undersecretary of Defense, or no, this DLA. The vehicles have no predominant commercial application. You tell me a 10,000 gallon water tanker that can go up hills and everything has no commercial application? We talk about trucks with a winch on the back that can pick stuff up, debris and houses and everything that can clear roads, has no commercial application? You telling me that vehicles, off-road vehicles that can rescue people have no commercial application? Please tell me that in a straight face. Okay. It's DITSA's job and Department of Commerce to figure that out, not the knuckleheads up at DOD. Or, sorry, DLA. All right, that's the letter. I've got a copy of this. Anybody wants this, please read it and laugh your butt off about this. This is from Michael D. Scott, Deputy Director, Logistics Operation. In there, he goes into how much they can't let vehicles out with weapon systems on them. A 1025 does not have a weapon system. A Humvee does not have a weapon system on it. But he's saying there he does. So, have these people that are in charge of these vehicles ever seen the vehicles they're in charge of? Please. Okay. DLA, DMO Code C, armor, weapons, mounts, radios, enhanced drivetrain, electrical drivetrain. Weapons mounts on 1025, or all these vehicles I'm saying, weapon mounts, 0, armor, 0, radio, 0, enhanced drive, 0. Again, have they ever seen these vehicles that they're coding out? Okay, DOD versus reality. Not on the CCL list. 100% legal export. No armor, no weapons, restricted items. None. Okay, and everybody is saying get rid of them the proper way. In summary, they're not following and violating DOD policy. And these are not old books. This directive was out February, and they're violating it. All right, and you want the book? I will give you the book. All right, they're not following DITSA state or commerce policy, disobeying president. They're disobeying Trump's executive order that tells them not to do stupid stuff, basically. All right, they're losing billions of taxpayers' dollars, hurting first responders and disaster aid. How many people, how many states, if you're a congressman or senator or something like this, and you had like a whole bunch of vehicles that could drive over trees and swim and go pick up people off houses, and are track vehicles, they work just good on the water as in the land, and they're free, how many would you take? Well, at Hurlong right now, or Sierra Army Depot, they're shredding 291 of these tracked vehicles. There's no armor on them, can drive over anything, and guess what? They're getting crushed. Okay. All right, and that's my thing. Please, if you like it, please share it. This, no joke. Do the math. If every vehicle was saved $5,000 from processing, they got only $5,000, and you saw how much you're getting, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per vehicle. If they only got $5,000, there's 200,000 of them. Do the math yourself. These vehicles are sitting out there getting crushed. Nobody's getting hurt over them. I have not found anything from anywhere that says anybody has ever used them illegally in any terrorist organization or anything like that. These are collector's items. These are heavy-duty trucks that they use at commercial sites, things like that. They're not taking jobs away. As a matter of fact, for every 3 vehicles, from what I've understand, for every 3 vehicles they release, they make 2 jobs because people have to work on them, maintain them, and convert them over to civilian applications. So please, share this video. It's your money. Thank you very much. And again, please call your congressman, please call your senator, and get the word out there. This is happening right now. This is $3 trillion. And if you think my math's off, do it yourself. Thanks much. Bye.